All right, case study time. Now, when we're achieving a smile makeover, there are a couple of elements that are very important that we want to achieve. But the most important element is what the patient wants, what are the main complaints, and what are they trying to enhance or to improve. And we look at those points and try to figure out how we can work out a plan, customizable, because every smile is different, everyone's different, personalities are different, what they're looking for is different. Kind of like have a customizable plan to where the final result, not just the patient is happy, but the clinician or herself, we're happy as well. So the combined result is amazing. Let me show you a smile. Now, this lovely client came to me and the main concern was that she had Invisalign for quite a while, actually over a year, and after a while she was like, okay, I had enough, there's no more, I would just like to correct the smile. And I think that's where majority of the time there's always a conflict that the orthodontist or people who want to align teeth, braces, Invisalign, any of the means you want to use, they're looking at correcting and perfecting how the bite is, how the alignment is, but even at the final result, that's not what the patient wants. They want an aesthetically pleasing smile based on what they're looking for, and that's what we want to look at from the patient's perspective as well, that yes, it's great to have a perfect ideal bite, but is that what the patient's looking for? Because majority of the patient, the main complaint is I did all that, but it's still my smile is not good. So maybe it was not conveyed to them or explained to them in the initial consult that yes, alignment is going to move the teeth to the right place. However, you will still need some kind of aesthetic work to make them look good. Because I think the biggest misconception still is that if you align your teeth going to be perfect. No, wherever your teeth are in terms of rotations and movements and crookedness, they will align it better to the right place. However, it does not mean they're gonna still look great as well. So whatever teeth color you have, teeth shape you have, teeth size you have, they're just gonna move it to the right place. So ideally, alignment should be followed with aesthetics, or if someone cannot do both, then they can look into one where they feel that they'll be happy with the final result. And it does not mean that justifying in my head or in my mind what a great smile looks like. It's talking again from the patient's perspective. So let's look at this smile again. So according to the patient, what she didn't like is her smile was too narrow, especially on one of the sides. She felt like it was a bit narrow on the right side here. The two front teeth are quite dominant, and apart from that, there's a lot of unevenness in terms of the edges. Some teeth are dark, some are stained. She still have those Invisalign brackets or those tabs we put on, not brackets, Invisalign tabs. And that's kind of like putting off the actual color because they've stained out. However, I feel like the natural teeth color is actually not bad at all. So she wants a bit symmetrical smile, so when she can go out, she could smile without thinking about, all those elements. Apart from that, the other concern was that also would be great if she can get a wider smile, because I think that's where majority of the time when we do Invisalign or extra teeth on the side and patients say, everyone was saying that you look different or your smile looks different, what's happening? And that's what we need to understand is that widening the smile, because not everyone looks you from the front. Sometimes you're talking to someone and people look for you from the side view. So that area kind of like covers it up to how much teeth and how wide the smile is, and it does make a big impact. So what we did is we first wanted to figure out what patient goal is, incline and combine that with our mind and mindset, and then present a plan. Now, a couple of options. Anytime the patient doesn't want to align the teeth, I look at options on, if I'm doing porcelain work, how much do I have to drill the tooth? And that's what the problem with all the clinicians. They remind that we don't like drilling teeth. We like to be minimal invasive, especially when we do a lot of resin work and we look into that option. Second thing is we look at from the patient point of view, how long they're looking for it to last. The reason sometimes for certain cases I look at resin work is the budget of the patient, the goals, and how much minimal invasive can I be. And with resin, especially when you're doing layering technique and you being 100% non-invasive, even in the future, 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, 20 years down the line, if you want to get porcelain, or they say, okay, I will get alignment done now and get porcelain, you can just remove all of that carefully. So you still haven't touched the tooth. Same thing, we went in terms of the budget and what the patient was looking for with the non-invasive option, we went for the same thing. So looking at, this was the start, and look from different angles, it kind of like appears a smile different. If you look at this view, you'll notice that the front two teeth are kind of like quite prominent here, and the sides look definitely quite narrow, a lot of shadow from the sides. Then you look at this one. Another thing what happened is, it's an unfortunate event that when we were supposed to do the veneers on, say about on Monday, and on Friday she had a trauma on the front tooth, completely cracked off, so someone did a temporary filling on it on the front side. And then we had to build everything up. Now what I do when I do my resin veneers, especially if I'm doing layering, I do Marshall Henson's technique. Amazing clinician, just amazing work. What Marshall Henson explains is that when you do one day, you kind of like don't know how much teeth to bring out. Yes, you can do wax ups and everything, but then you could still be, or there still can be slight inaccuracies in the plan where you could say that, okay, this could be changed and that could be changed. So what we basically do is we kind of like cover up everything based on what we see, and you make a design on the first day where you feel where the teeth should be based on the face, how much out they should be, or that's the maximum you could go. And after doing a first day, we do a single 2 to 3 shades. We want to make it opaque, we want to make it like a frame, and that's what you end up with. And we do explain it to the patient the first day. Don't worry, just kind of like an idea of us to where the smile should sit. So the first day you actually end up here. Now if you notice how, because the front teeth are already too dominant and we can't make it more dominant, it's going to be too much in the face smile, we kind of like achieve something like this. Then what happens is, what you do is you sit here and you look at the front two teeth. Can you see how the dark patches appear in certain areas? These are the points that kind of like we know that we want to hide. However, the side teeth don't look too bad. The color kind of like is quite even. That means these teeth, and because we had to kind of like bring them out a bit as well, we know that they're not going to be a major concern for us. Apart from that, look at the other sides. They're not too bad. So the main thing that we were looking at was mainly the front two, or even the third teeth had a bit of a patch there, is to how can we hide it in a way that it's not too bulky. At the same time, you get a great result and finish where the patient's happy to smile and they don't see the color difference. And that's where the magic of layering resin comes in play. Layering composite, layering resin. That what you end up doing is so magical that not even a dentist can actually see the difference of what you have done. And let me just run you through this quick concept of how we actually do it. So first day we have built the teeth to where we feel is based on the face, with all the facial parameters, because every smile should be facially driven, treatment planned, not with the teeth. Because how many people look you with the zoomed in photos like you're seeing in the screen? They all show you like you're seeing me with that safe COVID distance these days. So if I show you, that's the zoomed in look of what the first day gives you. Now you can see that the patches do kind of like gives you the shadow from the inside, that means these are the areas we want to hide. Now, because we want to be 100% non-invasive, we don't want to drill. And that's where it gets tricky, because it'd be like, if I don't drill, then how do I hide it? If I use too much resin, it's gonna look bulkier, and then I have to put in last layer as well to hide it. It's gonna look too bulky. So that's where we kind of like use those opacers, white tints, balance everything off. There's an amazing Italian dentist. It's just, I'm not getting his name in my mind. He shared his technique once, that he takes a paintbrush and he dips it in white tint, and he kind of like rubs it on the whole tooth, not just a dot on one area, kind of like rubs it on the whole tooth. What it does, it not just hides any impurities there or any shadows inside, it kind of like also increase the value of the tooth that we need, especially if the front teeth are darker and stuff. So if you closely notice, that's the one thing. The second thing what we do is get another zoomed in look. What I've actually done here is, in this photo, I've done white opaquer on the darker areas, which was these areas, and then what I did is that white tint, kind of like paintbrush, rub it all around the tooth. And then what we want to do is we do it to the point where we add that opaquer and white tint to the point where I would like to see symmetry and harmony getting close with the value of the side teeth. Because if we notice, it's getting closer to the point that your eye does not stop to one tooth, and that's what we want to see. And once we feel like we're getting closer, that's the point we start matching it. Take some photos, look into the photos where you feel like it's matching closely. And if you notice in this photo, the value looks very close apart from those certain areas, and you will be doing another layer on top, so then you don't have to stress about that. Oh, this is not the final. So hiding everything to the point where it's 80-90% good, it's gonna give you a great result. So that's, again, with a white tint and opaquer, it's kind of like matching things together, like making like a white canvas, like sculpting the art, like an artist. And then we go back, and this is the next step, in which I'm gonna put a dentin layer. I'm gonna put that white line and create that halo that make the tooth look stunning, like the porcelain work. And again, if you actually have a zoomed in look, the value of the tooth, or the color of the tooth, which is kind of like how bright it is, it looks very symmetrical. And then you go back and you look at that, and then you notice that how they kind of like matching. And then you go, and this is the fun result you get. Just beautiful. And when you show this to someone, to how we started, the first thing they say is, how is this resin? And that's where the magic of layering resin is, that it's a hard art, but if you actually get it right, looking at this photo, I don't think anyone can say that one tooth looks darker or the front tooth looks so much symmetrical with the side teeth that you can't really pick. And that's another view. Look how stunning the smile looks. If you don't even know with the before photo that it's the same smile, half of you won't even guess it. How wide the smile looks, how much detail and texture we have done, how much layering potential this has, kind of like puts this smile to the whole new direction. And look at this side view as well. Looks natural, fits the lip profile and the face beautifully as well. And we end up with something that we say that actually this looks stunning. Because if I go back to how we started, just see how much improvement we made to someone's smile by being 100% non-invasive, no drilling or shaving the teeth off, and still getting that beautiful result where we can say that we are proud to say that this smile, the patient will be just going out, not even thinking for a second not to smile. And I received a message from a lovely client of how amazing she felt and how much of a difference the smile has made in her life. And that's what the goal is. It's not, you're not thinking about what you want to do as a clinician, what the patient goal is and what you want to meet and how you can make things meet her initial complaint and give her the result that she's looking for. Now, you can do braces and alignment for even 200 years, you'll not get this result, because it's not just alignment. Either you do both or you play with it to the point where the patient can have that affordability to either do one or two or whatever she can to improve her smile. And that's her decision to make. And that's where I think a lot of us clinicians kind of like go back and it's like, this is not right. But then it's about, we don't do a single thing without giving options to the patients and giving them, all the routes to where we could improve the smile. And looking at all the potentials from start to finish and reaching this result, it's so much inspiring, even for me doing this case, other clinicians looking at this case, that by being minimal invasive, 100% non-invasive with resin, not even with porcelain, you can achieve this beautiful result. And that's all about today's case study.